Hello. In this short video, I'd like to review how to use artificial intelligence to maximize the instructional effectiveness of lecture videos. What do I mean by instructional effectiveness? Well, essentially, I'm talking about creating learning objects using a lecture video. What I'll do in this presentation is take one of my previous videos, upload it into an artificial intelligence powered video editing tool, and then get a transcript. Once I get that transcript, I'll be able to use AI or natural language processing to create handouts, identify keywords, create quizzes, and discussion questions. So I think this is useful because it takes a lot of effort to create a lecture video, right? Creating the slides, determining what you want to say, understanding what the learning outcomes of this lecture video might be, recording it, editing it, posting it. And so what we want to do is maximize the effectiveness of it. We want to make sure that the students get the information, the knowledge, the perspective out of that piece of content to the greatest extent possible. So we shouldn't really look at a lecture video as an all-encompassing static object. It's just one part of a cluster of learning objects that we can group together to address various learning needs in our students. To facilitate this process of editing the video and creating a transcript, I used one of my favorite tools, which is called Descript. Here is the video that I uploaded to the interface. Here is the transcript of that video. I can play the video and you can see that, hopefully, that the cursor is working its way through this transcript. Descript affords us a couple of tools that we can use. One of them, my favorite tool, is under Actions. What I want to do is remove filler words. So I can select all filler words, or there's a drop-down list of a few of the filler words that it has. Here is that drop-down list. Right, I guess, I mean. I'm just going to select all of them and then click Remove All. And it deleted 77 filler words. What else can it do? Well, it can shorten the word gaps. Any space of 2 seconds or more, unless it was deliberate, it can shorten them to 1 second. So let's do that. It shortened 59 word gaps. So now I have this transcript of everything I said. I can also correct the transcript if I want to. I can go in here by clicking Correct Transcript, and I can edit the transcript and change any of the spelling of it, of any of the words in the transcript. What I can also do then is export this transcript as a document by clicking Publish. I'm going to click then Export. I want to export the transcript. In this case, it will export it as a Microsoft Word document, but I have other options. I'm happy with that format, and I click Export. Once it's done, I click Open, and here is my transcript. I can continue to correct. I can eliminate the timings if I want. If I don't think I need those in the transcript, I just go through it and correct any errors or ask it what those errors are. Here I have, okay, so I have my completed, edited transcript of my lecture video. Here I am in ChatGPT. I'm using 4. I don't know if you guys have 4. So I've uploaded my document. Now I can ask it to do whatever I want with this document. So let's have it make a summary. Okay, so here's my summary. I could ask it to refine the summary, write this in the first person. And here is my short summary. So here are some keywords that were in the transcript, and it's providing them with definitions of these keywords. So when I post my video into my course or make it available to students, I can provide a summary and keywords of this video. We also talked about the possibility of creating discussion questions. So here you go. Here's some pretty good questions. Here I am in the Blackboard course. I've embedded my lecture video. Above my video, I can paste the little summary of the video. If I like, below it. And then below my video, I can put my keywords. Remember, I used ChatGPT to analyze the transcript of this video to identify these keywords. And then here we go. So now I have, preceding the video, a short description of what it is, the video, and then after it, some keywords. Now here you notice the auto-generate question bank, which I could use for this content here. But I'm not sure there's enough there to make a quiz. So what I've done here is then uploaded the transcript separately, which the students obviously can view and download if they like. And it's here, my edited transcript. And you'll notice below on the right, lower right, auto-generate question bank. So we can do this. And I could tell it the kinds of questions I want. So let's say I just want multiple choice. We can make the number of questions 10 questions. The complexity on a scale of low to high, I can make them as difficult as I like, and then generate. Here are my questions. What is the file name of the attached document? This is pretty funny. So I upload this transcript and the AI in Blackboard is giving me questions about the document, not what's in the document. So it's not reading the document. So how do I remedy this? What do I do? Well, I'm going to cancel this. Let's discard this and close. So to remedy that mishap, I've copied and pasted the transcript into a new item. Let's see what that does for us. Hit save. Here's our transcript. Down at the lower right, add questions, auto-generate. We're going to do multiple choice again, 10 questions, generate. Okay, here we go. Why is continuous improvement important in course design? What is one aspect of multimodality? So now it's using the text of the transcript rather than asking questions about, the nature of the document that I uploaded. Here are all of my questions, 10 points each. I made the name of my quiz. I could put the due date if I like. And we are all set. I'll make it available to my students. So far we've created the course design lecture, the introduction to that lecture, what it's about, some keywords for the lecture. The transcript of the video is here. Students can download that transcript or they can read it below. And a quiz based on the transcript, which is based on the video. I also mentioned earlier that we can make discussions. So I'm in the discussion board. I can copy and paste my discussion questions here. There's a lot of questions for discussion. I probably wouldn't use all of these. I'm just giving you an example of the functionality here. I can make a voice thread with these questions, as I've done in a previous video, but sticking inside the Blackboard LMS. So far from our lecture, we have this piece of content, right? The lecture and description and keywords, the transcript, the quiz based on the lecture, and now a discussion. What I could do, as I did earlier in an earlier video, is create a learning module, if I like, by taking all of these items and putting it into the learning module structure that Blackboard provides us. Okay, so I've made, using all of the content we've made today based on the lecture video, I've made this AI and course design learning module. So it's technically not a learning module yet because we know learning modules are organized around learning objectives, but we can, using our transcript, create learning objectives based on this module. There's probably not quite enough here. We'd probably have to augment this module with other kinds of content. But the point here is, generally when we do course design, we're doing backwards design, right? We're starting with the learning objectives and then going from there. What do we want the students to learn, be able to do, believe? How will they be transformed by this unit? And then how will we measure it? But in this case, I'm starting our design process from the lecture. And I imagine this may be how many of us begin thinking about our teaching. Well, what am I going to say? So here's my lecture. So in this case, I've shown you how you can use that lecture and how we can move towards lecture-based design. So could we use this lecture to create learning objectives? Okay, so I've asked it to use the document that I uploaded, which was my transcript, to create a unit. I'm explaining to Chat that it's going to be accompanied by keywords, a quiz, and a discussion. And I said to Chat, can you make me a list of 5 learning objectives based on that material aligned with Bloom's taxonomy? And this is what it did. So if I like these, I can simply copy and paste them into the learning module I've created. Okay, so here is a student preview of the course module, or what we're calling a module that we've created. AI and course design. Here are the learning objectives we just created with ChatGPT based on the transcript. They're aligned with Bloom's taxonomy. Here's our course design lecture. Right, it has a little summary about what I think the lecture is about. The lecture itself, the video lecture itself embedded in the page. Some keywords from that lecture. Here's a transcript. It is available in 2 formats, downloadable or embedded directly on the page. Next is our discussion, where the students would post their responses to these prompts. Finally, a quiz. And again, this quiz is all designed by artificial intelligence based upon the transcript that I used artificial intelligence to create. If you have any questions, please email me at d'agostino@fordham.edu. Thanks very much.